is Tuesday the 10th of January 2017. It is 11:29. Look at the finger for the second finger. Is it called finger? Oh, God, they are so fucking my English vocabulary. The reason why I have this here on the screen is to make it a little harder for them to visually mess with this here video. I will keep this to the side. Please check if the seconds indicator keeps moving and does not stop all of a sudden, while I will give you a little reminder as of the workings of everything. I do want to point out that it is moving here, right here, it's moving. I do want to point out that the whole thing can be found on YouTube. In fact, all you have to do is go to my, actually, let's do this differently. So if you were to Google my name and nothing the fuck more, Google, at least the shit that I am being presented, as first result gives you my very channel on YouTube, and a second result gives you the Heeres Nachrichtenamt something on YouTube. Why the fuck ever, I wouldn't know. I never recorded a video at the Heeres Nachrichtenamt specifically, but so be it. And then it gives you a bunch of other shit. All you gotta do is the first fucking link in Google, and you click there, and you go to my YouTube channel, where if you look at here, my channel, actually, I think this is the channel. If you look at the video manager, you will see that I have a grand total of 248 videos, right? So you arrive at my channel. What you do is you scroll over here and on Show All, as it says in Deutsch, alles anzeigen, and then you find all kinds of videos. Let's just make it easy. Let's start with the oldest first. And you see up here, well over 2 years ago, incidentally, this is almost 3 years ago, you see here all the videos, and this shit here, these 3 parts, actually this 4 parts it is actually, these 4 parts, and then furthermore, here's some material, but especially these 4 parts show you the fucking workings of it all. Okay? So when I say things in my videos like the system being subjected to a phase, and you go, oh, what does he mean? That is what I fucking mean. And if you were to click on one of those, which here says 1 year, though the truth is it's been uploaded June 2015, that's more than 1.5 years ago, right? You find the whole shit explained.
Are told to mess.
Namely, what you see is certain documents which can be found here in my Mac. For instance, the ports table. I explained in great length in these 4 parts, horribly sabotaged as my speaking was in those 4 parts. I explained in great length what the fuck they do. This is the set of one level, if you think of it like that, and you have repeating levels, several of them, namely from the innermost to the outermost, so to speak, from the deepest to the most superficial ones. Out here are the external ports, blah, 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 blah. What it means to subject the system. See, the system is gray here. That's what it means here. Forget that it says ego admin here. I don't want to explain what I actually meant with that. The system tree is the gray tree. It's always -8 that brings you to the next higher or lower, depending on how you look at this. You go from 63 by making an entry -8, resulting in 55, okay? So there's a system tree, which is always on the system ports numbers, upwards -8. And there are the other trees. This is the ego tree. These are the 4 con-emos. And in addition, you have a synchronizing and a command tree. That's what you got, okay? Now, when I say they subject the system to a phase, These here are phases. Your ego and 4 more. These are phases, right? They are phases as in, not in a phase of time, but phases as in electricity. Phases, an electronic phase. Physically. You are not supposed to ever have anything point upwards, which really means in this table downwards, upwards meaning to a higher numbered port. That ain't supposed to ever fucking happen. Okay? And for reminders, if you're too fucking busy or lazy or whatnot to watch those 4-part videos wherein I explain it, these are actually 2 different sets of numbering depending on whether you have what is called an EU system or a US system, and that difference results therein that one has more external ports than the other, because here it ends at 22 ports, whereas this continues to 31, and these are the external ports, and the actual internal ports have exactly the same functionality, just that they're numbering. Here starts at 32, whereas in the other case it starts at 23 and consequently goes all the way to 79 or to 70. Okay? This is basically one and the same thing. It's just differently numbered depending on whether we're talking an EU system or a US system. Subjecting the system to a tree is if you were to make an illegal connection like this. And lo and behold, this one here actually illegally subjects the system tree. That is what subjecting the system tree means. Now, on every functional level where different stuff is pulled, the system tree also is where any kind of functionality pertaining to the human body actually is managed via. Namely, to those parts, so to speak, of the human body that have something to do with that virtuality, with that virtual functionality, virtual and so far as that it's actual biofunctionality, just that here is utilized for all kinds of virtualized crap. And by hijacking and subjecting the ego, the system tree, the system would manage the body all by itself, because that's what the system does. Not because it's intelligent or because you could talk to it, but because that is what the body does, the nervous system. It manages it fucking itself. It runs a human body. That is what the nervous system does. And by subjecting the nervous system and really the entire system, this is not just the nervous system, this is everything your body has to offer, to a phase, the system is not able to run it as it should. And the system is not able, or hardly able, to, if I actually give it any kind of command, and be it to turn off the shit that's being virtually simulated, if that were not here, and the system were free to do, and add to that the fact that on the assumption that the command chain were correctly always pointing downwards, okay, and not upwards, let alone the command or the synchronizing trees being illegally fed into any of the phases, because that happens too, because they, you know, again and again, they might have one phase subject the system, have another phase subject the command, and then yet another subject the synchronizing, and then furthermore, on a lower level, actually try to hybridize the phases amongst one another so that you end up in a mixture of phases rather than keeping it clean to any one phase, which would be from 74 to 66 to 58 and so on, 8 minus, okay? This is the kind of shit they do. This is monodirectional, okay? Monodirectional means from, say, hypothetically here, this is an illegal entry. Monodirectional is from 79, there's a monodirectional connection to 71. The point is, it's monodirectional, and the point is, it never ought to be anything other than minus 8. Minus 8 in the sense of, from 79, it points to 71. Or multiples of minus 8 if you want to skip something. Though even therein lies, if you're fucking useless and ignorant, a whole lot of risk and a whole lot of actual idiocy, to be perfectly honest. Plus, you don't actually need these. Because, especially on the system tree, your system does what it does, even if you don't actually connect it from layer to layer. Because your body works anyhow. Right? But if you want to make sure it's collected, this is what you would do. But the point is, if you do something like this, and here, for instance, because they're funny, they do something like this, they'd have a phase, subject the system, and then have that system into me, so to speak. Okay? Anything pointing up is generally illegal, and anything pointing down by anything other than -8 or multiples thereof is also illegal. You understand what I mean by subjecting the system? The system is not allowed or able to work as it would and should because they are subjecting the system. In addition to that, they're subjecting the command tree, and because they have the command tree horribly, horribly wrong, because they think, oh, it's where you give commands. Whereas it's command tree as in an IT sense, okay? Not I command thee, but in an IT sense command, okay? There's a lot of fuckers out there, pseudo-scientific, useless piece of shit fuckers who a long time ago caught whatever technical documentation without any fucking brain from actual, let's call them under inverted comma, scientists under inverted comma. I just realized, sorry. I just realized that this fucking thing wasn't here. Well, the point being that if you think, yeah, don't tell us about this, we know all about, no, you don't. You might have an ever so vague, completely wrong idea about how this shit works, but what you don't understand is how they hijack everything and subject especially the system to shit, right? If you think, oh, we know how the system tree works, at that point, you can just kiss your ass goodbye, because the truth is, they subject the system. And if you think that all of your fucking drones out there operate the way you think they do, then I want to ask you, are you perfectly sure that the fuckers to torture me here don't just have all of your fucking drones out there who you think you control completely illegally connected like that in themselves? This is all internal. This is not connecting them to other people or any shit like that. That would hypothetically happen via the external ports. But there's no to-the-brain functionality anymore in my brain anyhow. If you still have a to-the-brain connection, it happens via the external ports. This is what I'm trying to explain to people. And you can find that on, where are we? Sorry, here we are, on fucking YouTube from June 2015. And that is just after a year or so of me talking my mouth off here in my apartment, knowing that I was in extraction fields. And that originally back in 2013, I had some degree of actual surveillance, but a fucking outbound if no one else. And I was under the assumption that originally, that considering the events of early 2013, that there'd be other people than just a bloody outbound surveilling me. Then again, those would probably have been the local staff of other people, and as I explained countless times, the local staff of other people are getting their brains ultra fucked by the outbound. So would you please, fucking useless pieces of shit out there, watch these videos. I know they are sabotaged horrendously. I haven't watched them in a long time, but I remember that they were badly sabotaged to the extent that I'm constantly fucked in what I'm trying to say and whatnot. Still, I know them for a fact to still explain what things do pretty decently, okay? What I want to remind people of is that these videos are here, this one and then this one here. This is a 3-part video, starts here, and this is a 4-part video, and all you'd have to do is watch it. As a little reminder to the late joiners who visit for the first time, some say, and see over 200 videos and go, oh, we're not going to watch all of that shit, just watch the most recent one. Oh, here's him, yeah, let's watch him. You don't fucking get it. You don't fucking get it. You are too stupid to fucking get that you should fucking watch my videos. And all the people on North America, fucking Google in particular, and all the Alphabet Inc. and all of these bastards, this is your website. I don't care if it's subject to, under inverted comma, Austrian, not the X parties under inverted comma, Austrian laws or whatnot, because that's all delusional shit. Quintessentially, someone in America will ask the fuckers in Google in America, how comes these videos were kept from every fucking IG in North America? And the Google people will be very hard pushed for an excuse. In fact, they will be short of any excuse, because there is no excuse.